Namaste friends, welcome back to YogaCandi. My name's Candace and today I've prepared a slow Vinyasa flow yoga for you. So it is suitable for all levels, but if you're a total beginner, I'm not going to be going into too much detail about each pose. So just make sure that you have some knowledge of pose names and sort of how to get into them and things like that. If you are a total beginner and you've never done yoga before, I do have some videos that are perhaps a little more suitable for you. So feel free to have a look through the gallery. We're not going to need any props today, and we're going to start off on our hands and knees in tabletop. So bring your hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Lift up through the shoulder blades. And we're just going to take a moment to breathe here, already starting to engage the core. So suck in that lower abdomen, lift up through the pelvic floor. You can close your eyes or you can look directly down. Start to take some nice deep inhales in and out of the nose all the way to the depths of the belly. Now walk your hands forward and we're going to take a little puppy pose. You can take your chest and chin down to the ground or simply just take the forehead down to the ground. Make sure your knees are in line with your hips. Taking a lovely shoulder opener here. Let's take some deep breaths. From here we're going to take some circles with the hips, any circles that work for you. You can take big giant circles in one direction and then we're going to rotate in the other direction, or you can simply stay in puppy pose. Now send it in the opposite direction. Take one more circle here and then come into a back bend. You can either take a baby cobra or you can take a full cobra. Whichever variation you're taking, find some movement that works for you. Whether that be looking over one shoulder at the feet and then looking over the other. Then bring your chest down to the ground. Zip your feet together. Keep everything engaged. We're going to inhale with using the strength of the spine, lifting the chest up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Two more. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now send your knees out wide as the mat. We're going to come down for a wide-legged child's pose. Send your forehead down to the ground. Just become heavy here. Enjoy some breathing here. Nice deep breaths. Take 3 more deep breaths, lifting up through the pelvic floor on every exhale. Now come on up, take your knees hip distance apart. Walk your fingertips a little further forward, and we're going to send our hips up and back to our first downward facing dog. Take your time. Walk through the feet, bending and straightening the legs. Sucking in the lower belly, keeping your spine nice and long and your neck nice and heavy. Pulling those shoulder blades apart. When you find comfort in your downward dog, become nice and still. Now inhale the right leg to the sky. Keep your hips squared, so you're not going to lift it too high. Keeping the legs squared, let's hold that for a couple of breaths. Now lift it a little higher, opening up through the hip. So you're sending the toes of the right foot all the way over to the left, lifting the knee up to the sky, twisting from the mid-spine, not from the lower back. Keeping your shoulders in line with each other, so you're just twisting from the hip. Sending it to the sky, and then exhale, draw this knee in towards your chest, so you're in a one-legged plank, and we're going to step forward. In for a lunge, keeping that back heel off the ground. Keep the front knee at a 90-degree angle to the ground, and the back knee lift up through the knee, keeping the leg engaged. Plant the left hand on the ground and inhale, lifting the right to the sky. Look up at the fingertips. Exhale, plant the right hand on the ground. Inhale, let's lift up through the right arm, lifting it to the sky. Pushing the right knee into the right armpit. And hand back down to the ground. Start to straighten the front leg for our pyramid pose, keeping the hips squared with the front of the mat. Both of the toes are facing forward. You can always come on down a little further over the shin if you want to. You can even arch the spine, bringing the forehead towards the knee of the right leg. And then inhale, straighten the front leg. We're coming up for our high lunge. Inhale, the hands to the sky, look up. And then exhale, meet me in warrior two. Opening out through the back foot, so it's a 90-degree angle with the back of the mat. Sinking low into the front knee. Opening up through the fingertips, look at the right hand. Look beyond the fingertips. Inhale, lean forward and take a reverse warrior, lifting the right hand to the sky. Exhale, straighten the front knee. We're coming in for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Keeping the hips open. Take this bottom hand the knee, to the thigh, to the shin, all the way down to the floor, depending on your flexibility. Left hand is in the sky. You can close your eyes or look up towards the sky. Take a deep inhale. Take one more deep inhale. And exhale back to warrior two. Look at the fingertips. Rotate the back foot so you're back in your high lunge. Lift the hands to the sky. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step forward to the front. Take your time. Oop. You may lose your balance just like me. Now we're in mountain. You can take your hands to the side body. Stand up nice and tall. Close your eyes and return back to the breath. Inhale the hands to the sky, touch the palms, look up. Exhale, fold from the hips, bend the knees whenever you need to. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Plant the hands, we're going to step back into a nice strong plank. Lift up through the core. Zip the legs together. Take a vinyasa of your choice. You can either go down to the belly and take a baby cobra, or chaturanga to upward facing dog. And we're going to meet in our downward facing dog. If you're following me, exhale chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Once you're in your down dog, you can walk your legs once again. Just taking your time. And then become still. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. And again. Inhale, lift the left leg, not that high, just so you keep your hips squared. We're just going to take a couple of breaths here. Now open it higher so that you're opening that knee, you're bending from the hips, taking a little twist, sending those left toes over towards the right side, opening up through the hip. Take a deep inhale. Exhale forward into a one-legged plank, knee to the chest, and step that foot forward. Make sure you're framing that foot. We're back in our lunge. Plant the right hand on the ground and inhale, lift the left hand up to the sky. Now plant that left hand on the opposite side of the left foot, and we're going to inhale the right arm up to the sky, pushing the left knee into the armpit. And then frame the foot once again. We're sending our hips back, keeping the hips nice and squared, straightening the front leg for our pyramid pose. Remember to breathe, keeping the breath nice and deep and long. You can always come on a little down towards the leg, bend it as much as needed. You can always bring your forehead towards the knee. And then inhale, bending the front leg. We're going to come up into our high lunge. So use the power of the legs, lifting up through the back knee. We're going to inhale our hands above the head. Look up as the hands touch. And exhale, open up into warrior two. Back foot, 90-degree angle to the back of the mat. Bend forward into the front knee. Open up through the arms. Look at the left fingertips. Inhale, lean forward and come into a reverse warrior. Exhale, straighten the front knee, coming down for a triangle, keeping the hips nice and open. Inhale, the top arm up to the sky, look up to the sky. Exhale down, warrior two. Look upon the fingertips, look just further from them. And then inhale, hands to the sky, coming back for the high lunge. Coming up off the heel, squaring the hips. And take a nice step forward. Back into our mountain pose. Take the hands to the side body, close the eyes, become still. From here, inhale the hands above the head, look as the palms touch. Exhale, hands down, interlace the fingers behind the back, and we're going to start to lean forward, bending from the hips, allowing the hands to fall up and over our head for a lovely shoulder stretch and opener here. Bend your knees if needed. Enjoy this. Find some movement if you would like to. You can sway from side to side with the arms. Nice and slowly getting deep into the stretch. Release the interlace of the fingers and inhale, halfway lift, look up. Plant the hands, step back into your plank. Take a nice strong plank. Lift up through the belly, zip the legs together. Don't allow the bum to be lifted, keep the tailbone tucked. And take your vinyasa. If you're going to follow me, we're exhaling chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Give your feet another little walk. And then become still when you're ready. Taking 3 deep breaths. From here, we're going to either step either side of the hands, or we're going to jump to either side of the hands on an exhale. So your feet are as wide as the mat, toes pointing outwards, heels pointing inwards. For Malasana, our yogi squat. You can always prop the hips up with a block or something like that. If your bum is not sinking as low as mine, that's okay. With time it'll get there. Just take the yogi squat that works for you. Try to keep the spine nice and long, elbows pushing knees apart. Suck in the belly, lift up through the pelvic floor. Let's take a couple of deep breaths here. You can either stay here in your yogi squat, you can even take a child's pose if you would like to, or we're going to open the arms up. So we're going to take the right hand over towards the right side of the mat, pushing against the right hip and inhaling the left hand up to the sky. Look at the fingers. If you want to take it a step further, you can bind your hands behind your spine, lifting the chest up towards the sky. And release, come back to center. You can give your Malasana a little move from side to side, and then we're going to do the same on the opposite side. So if you want to, you can open up, taking the left fingertips over towards the left side of the mat, inhaling the right hand to the sky. You can stay here, or you can interlace the fingers behind the leg, looking up to the sky, keeping the knees nice and wide. Take a couple of deep breaths. And back to center. Knees are pushed open with the palms, with the elbows. And now release the hands, take them behind you and come down to the bum. We're going to do some boat pose for our core. So keep the knees lifted, feet together. We're going to lean backwards, opening the arms out long, shoulder distance apart. Inhaling the feet off of the ground. You can even hold behind the knees if you would like to. Otherwise, keep them extended. You can even close your eyes here, suck in the belly. Hold it for a few breaths. And exhale, release, hug the knees to the chest, keep the feet off the ground. We're going to do this 3 more times. Inhale, back to boat. You can even straighten the legs and look slightly upwards. And exhale, knees to chest, feet off the ground. Give them a little hug. 1 more time. Inhale, boat, legs bent or straight. Exhale, hug the knees in towards the chest, feet off the ground. Release the feet down to the ground, hip distance apart. We're going to very, very slowly start to come all the way down to our spines. So extend the arms out long in front of you and vertebrae by vertebrae, take your spine all the way to the ground. Bring those heels towards the bum. We're going to take bridge pose. Make sure your fingertips can just about touch the heels. Then you'll know you're in the right position. We're going to inhale and start to lift the hips up to the sky, keeping those knees in line with the hips. Don't allow them to splay open. Suck up through the pelvic floor. And we're going to hold this back bend for a couple of deep breaths. On your next exhale, very slowly roll your spine back down to the ground, vertebrae by vertebrae. Hug the knees towards your chest. You can just stay here, hugging the knees towards the chest, keeping the feet together and the knees wider than hip distance. Or you can come into your happy baby, lifting the feet up to the sky, grabbing the outside edges of the feet. You can take a little movement if it feels good for your body. Rocking from side to side. And then very slowly, let's release the feet back down towards the ground. We're going to windshield wiper the legs from side to side. So keep the knees together and then just windshield wiper from left to right. Opening the arms out towards the sides. You can also move the head against the ground, looking left to right. And we're going to keep our feet together, allowing the knees to fall open from side to side down towards the mat, as if it's a reclined butterfly pose. Take your hands to your belly. And we're just going to take a moment here to tune back into the body and to allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm. Feel the rise and fall of your belly as you Breathe in and out. Notice how the body feels after that flow. Have you created a lovely warmth? Have you cultivated a little bit of inner peace by listening to the breath and to the body? Connect the mind, the body and the spirit. We're going to extend the left leg out long, coming in for our final resting pose, Savasana, and then extend the right so that they're a bit wider than hip distance apart. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. Hands a few inches away from the body, with the palms and the face facing up towards the sky. Close your eyes and allow your fingers to just have their lovely natural curve. Completely given to gravity in this pose, one of the most important poses of our practice. Savasana gives us the chance to connect and unite the mind, the body and the spirit, and to allow everything that we've just done to sink in. Take a moment for total silence and relaxation. I'm going to be here for 1 minute with you, but you can stay as long as you like. Breathe naturally, give into gravity, enjoy and relax. For those of you wanting to stay in Savasana, just stay where you are and allow my words to pass. For those of you wanting to end your practice with me, start to wiggle the fingertips and then the toes gently so that you feel that loving aliveness returning back to the limbs. Then inhale the hands above the head. Stretch as if you've only just woken up in the morning. And then rotate over onto one side of the body with the eyes still closed. Just curl up in a little fetal position. Take one deep breath. On the exhale, push yourself back into a seat. Take your time, keeping the eyes closed. Any seat of your choice. Make sure you sit up nice and tall through the spine. Hands on your knees. Bring your hands to your heart center. Thank yourself for showing up on the mat today. I'm so happy you practiced with me today. Thank you, everybody. Namaste. Bow your head to your palms. Take a deep inhale. And you can open your eyes. I really hope you've enjoyed the slow Vinyasa flow yoga with me today. If you have, leave a comment for me and let me know how you got on. Also give me a thumbs up and don't forget to share with your loved ones. Until next time everybody, you can find out more about me on all my social media platforms, and all my links are on YogaCandi.com, so head on over there so that we can connect on a deeper level. Until next time everybody, Namaste.